Hey there, this is Patrick Evans-Hylton with Cuisine Scene, and I am with Brad Ewing, and we are at Three Ships Coffee in the Vibe District in Virginia Beach. And good morning. How are you doing, Brad?
Good, excellent, thank you.
Excellent. Well, very good. So we're in front. Tell us first of all where we are. I see this big machine behind you.
We're here at our roastery on 19th Street in Virginia Beach. This is our Dietrich IR12, which is our beautiful coffee roaster.
Very nice. And so I see a few things over here too, including a really gorgeous mug. You said that's new here in the store.
Yeah, we have these new mugs that we do. It's kind of seasonal. It's a series that we sell. This is the fifth in the series. Fly Dog Ceramics is run by a good one of our managers, Kat, and she makes them for us special. And she's got two different series that are coming out for the holidays that we're selling here in the store, along with our coffee.
And so is that what you've got in the mug there, that cup of coffee?
Yeah, so right now we're serving Danny Moreno on drip, which is a really beautiful Honduran micro lot coffee. We actually have two different farmers, Danny and Miguel Moreno, on the shelves right now, which is pretty awesome to be able to taste. They're both from Santa Barbara, Honduras, and both very, very beautiful, kind of distinctly Honduran and like some nice caramel notes, and then. But I would say it's interesting to be able to have two brothers, two different farms, and have two very different coffees on offer from Honduras.
Yeah, very cool. Well, now, tell me when you first got started, because you weren't always in this location, but you started not very far from here, right?
Yeah, that's right. We are longtime residents at the Old Beach Farmers Market. It's kind of a really cool story of just kind of an idea that the farmers market was a great incubator for us, and we got started there just actually on the side of Rodney Einhorn's table, just to see if it would work, and it grew into what you see today. We started roasting coffee. It's almost 4 years now ago, and have taken. It's been pretty cool because we grew so small from the farmers market, and we've been able to really just focus on doing the kind of coffee that we want to drink, and which has been pretty amazing, and it's been pretty amazing to get the kind of following that we've achieved by doing what we want to do.
I remember the first time you handed me some of your cold brew in a mason jar over at the farmers market.
Yeah.
The coffee concentrate there. That was really awesome, too.
Yeah, that's been a great product for us.
Now, when did you move into this facility?
We'll be here in April, 2 years, and in this machine we purchased new when we moved into a larger facility. We were actually roasting coffee in our garage in Chatillon down at the beach.
Yeah.
And we were just really needed to get all that stuff out of our house, and so pretty amazing facility here. Tucked in right in the Vibe District, behind wave riding vehicles, and in between them and Beach Bully on 19th Street, right across from where the Old Beach Farmers Market happens every third week in the winter.
Yeah, in the wintertime, and then every Saturday in season. Yes.
That's right.
So now, but you don't just do coffee here. You have teas. I saw for the winter here you have some apple hot cider. You have hot chocolate.
Yeah, we've tried to. We're kind of getting better at this. I think when we started, we really were learning a lot, and I think it's really exciting to we've got a really great, really simple scratch baked baking program here that focuses on kind of like classic Southern comfort foods that are great with breakfast, but they're also every single thing we sell pairs really great with coffee. That's kind of the most important thing for me. And then we have a tea program that much like our coffee program, we really look for these intricate, beautiful teas that are bright, sweet, and interesting. We have this Wild Mountain black tea right now that tastes like marshmallows. It's absolutely gorgeous, and we hand pour that in the way that it should be poured to respect where it comes from. We also have our hot chocolate is actually we're using a milk. It's Old Church Creamery out of
Mechanics.
Exactly, and they have a really great milk that we use here for cappuccinos and lattes. But we also use that in our hot chocolate that we just started selling, which is really great. And for years we were really popular, like a mulled cider. We started doing that at the farmers market 4 years ago, and we're using the same Virginia cider to make that. So that's really great as well.
Good. And you mentioned the breakfast items, the food items you have, and those biscuits are wonderful. You can get them stuffed with gosh, country ham. I saw you have sausage on the menu now, the bacon, egg, and cheese.
Yep.
Or just get some honey with it. And then I think probably one of the things that you're most known for are the hand pies, though.
Yeah, it's interesting because that's become popular lately, and I'm pretty excited about it. And we've got so much room to grow. I think the idea with that was to be able to that be the place where we do a lot of experimentation. But we've sold, like, the biscuits have been probably the most popular, but with, as you mentioned, the sausage we have and the bacon we have is all from Pendulum Meats in Norfolk, which is really, really awesome. They do great work. And we use the Edwards ham for the ham biscuits, so it's the classic flavors that you'd expect from these dishes, but also trying to support other local businesses.
Very good. So now, somebody brews a cup of coffee at home. What would you recommend when they're getting ready to drink it? Why don't you pick up your cup of coffee there and just show me what somebody should do, to really get the most out of the nose and the flavor and all too.
So just focusing on this coffee because that's what we're drinking. The Danny Moreno is a really beautiful, high elevation coffee. It's what you look for when you're looking for coffee. And most coffees have notes like we have on here. This particular one was at 1500, which is actually not as high of elevation as most of our coffees, but a really great. Some of the things that are really interesting about coffee is it talks about its genus species on the bag, which is really neat. And we always put tasting notes and where it comes from. This coffee is Santa Barbara, Honduras. It's got a little bit about tasting notes, and then it's a Pacas and a Catua variety, which is kind of interesting. And I think it's one of those things that as you experience more coffees, like these things start to resonate with you and start to be kind of an interesting way to choose a coffee. I always use the notes as the best thing to do to choose a coffee. And to get those notes out in the cup, the best method you can do is to make a hand pour cup of coffee. So this is sort of a originally an American tool that was in 1950s technology or earlier, and it was adapted more recently by a Japanese culture to make like the best possible cup, and they kind of adapted a kettle, which is this guy, and so to
it almost looks like a Turkish coffee pot in a way.
Yeah, it's similar, but really the whole goal of this pot is to make the pour be like elegant. And so back to your question, to make a really great coffee, the most important elements for me is temperature is like the critical element. It's got to be 200 degrees. A lot of the typical coffee pots you purchase are not going to get to that temperature, and that's why a French press or a hand poured coffee is always going to be better. That's just the way it is. That you can look to a more expensive machine to get you that temperature, but and then grind size is really important. So having a really nice grinder that has an even size of your grinds is like critical. So and that really all goes to even extraction, which is you want the water to flow through evenly through all the coffee and then come out and in the end with a certain amount of time. So if it goes too fast, it's going to be too thin. If it goes too slow, it's going to be too thick. And so you really want that perfect balance, and it takes time and patience to get there. But I really think that like the pour over is the best way to drink the coffee here in Three Ships. And then but then again, we do have, it's pretty incredible that we have this Danny Moreno coffee on drip, which is like our quick cup basically. And so it is a micro lot coffee that we can source all the way to a specific gentleman in Honduras that's we're serving for $2.50 to $3, which is pretty awesome.
Because so many mornings the drip is sometimes all you have time for. And
to be honest, that's what I drink most of the time. It's just so good. I make a pour over for myself first thing, and then I'll be sipping on one of these all day long. And it's pretty cool to be able to see how different they can be, because it's really to take your time and make a cup of coffee. It's really really rewarding, but also to be able to. I'm pretty proud of my staff's ability to produce such a high level of coffee in a machine at this point as well. So.
And so when you brew the coffee, what are you looking for first of all? Are you looking at the nose of it first and what you're trying to smell?
From a taste standpoint, it really is about extraction. So when I say that, I mean like you're going to get, so our coffee, the goal, it's kind of like wine, you want to taste the coffee on the tip of your tongue, let it flow through the back and fill your mouth, but you're really looking for it to have a different experience from when it's hot versus when it's cold. And if you have like for example, the greatest example is you think about your grandfather. And your grandfather says when his cup gets cold, he's got to warm it up. And the reason is as coffee cools, you're really going to taste the impurities of a poor quality coffee. And so, but as coffee cools for a great cup of coffee, you're really going to taste all these balanced nuances. And so, the way my wife Amy roasts coffee, we're targeting light sugars, bright fruit, complexity like you'd have with a great bottle of wine. And so, when you're tasting these coffees, I would say it's really just about opening your mind to that coffee can be more than just bitter, at its best, a bitter dark chocolate. At its worst, some of the chains, it really does taste, to me, it's, as a taster, it tastes like burnt tires.
Yeah.
So I think that at its best, it could be bright, in this particular case, juicy, like dried apricots. It finishes with a light sugar, almost like some caramels that I say is what I typically taste in a great Honduran coffee. An Ethiopian may have more tea-like qualities, which is really cool, and maybe finishes really lightly the way we roast. Kenyan is typically a coffee that's going to have a ton of body, really juicy coffee, which is also so Kenyan and Ethiopia are my two favorite regions for coffee.
I love Ethiopia.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we're transitioning right now for the holidays. We'll probably have as many as 6 Ethiopian coffees on offer, which is exciting.
That sounds like heaven.
Yeah, and a little bit of variety too. We have 2 natural processed coffees that we were talking about earlier that are really exciting for the specialty coffee consumer. And then as the season moves on, we sell coffee seasonally, so you'll see that those fall away, and you'll see Colombia come back this winter, and then Rwanda and Burundi as well. Those are more winter coffees for us.
Very good. Now, and folks can get their coffee in a different way than actually coming in. Tell us a little bit about the coffee club that you have.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. We've been working on getting better at being able to support online sales, and so we feel like we're in a position we could do a little better job than we have in the past. So we're actually doing a special this holiday where we're doing $10 off the first month of our coffee club membership. Which is pretty cool because Amy and I choose the newest and the most fresh coffee that we have each month. So you'll get a brand new bag, 2 coffees every month, selected by Amy and I, and then some pretty extensive notes that come along with that, both on how to brew properly, like I was talking about, but in a little bit more detail, and also information like in this particular. This is Danny's. This one and his brother's coffee, Miguel Moreno, on the shelf is what's going out this month, and it's going to give you kind of analysis on the elevation, like what's the soil like, things like that, the interesting qualities, whatever we can dig up on these coffees to help you kind of connect with where they come from and the craftsmanship that occurs at the origin level.
Very good. Well, and everybody can go to 3shipscoffee.com for more information, to sign up for the coffee club, to look at the menu, to get directions and everything. And this has me wanting to go grab a cup of coffee. So Brad Ewing, 3 Ships Coffee, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it, buddy.
Yes.